He was a black guy. Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys that would just get a hold of something and never shut up. And look at Greg, man. Greg played a flute. It's a clarinet. It's a flute, Greg. You a flute man. Look at little flute man, Greg. Flute your flute, Greg. Little flute man, Greg. He'll be on the bus going to a match. He'll be real quiet, and all of a sudden you hear, hop, 2, 3, 4, what the hell we fighting for? Flute man. It's embarrassing when you're out there wrestling and you hear, hit him with your flute, Greg.
Comedian Diana Jordan is here with us. Now, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Since you've been here last, have you had any augmentation of any kind?
No.
Okay. Must be.
I'm wearing the Wonder Bra.
It's the Bob and Tom Show.
New this season on the Bob and Tom Television Network.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the biggest set of jugs I've ever seen. It's Shirtless Girl.
Posing as a topless dancer, showing off her pecs. No one knows her secret till she takes off her specs. She's Shirtless Girl.
Shirtless Girl.
With her special powers, she gives the bad guys fits. She don't use no gun, she stops them with her. She's Shirtless Girl.
Shirtless Girl.
Working in the chemistry lab one day, sophomore year, nothing seemed amiss. But that night, an amazing transformation took place. And the next morning, young Debbie Yabo woke to find...
My God, I'm huge. I must dedicate these to fighting evil.
Little did Debbie know that years before, on the planet Lactoid, a planet whose gravity was causing it to sag dangerously toward the sun, her father, Major Yabo, and Mother Teton sent their infant daughter, Areola, rocketing through the Milky Way to Earth, knowing one day she'd become Shirtless Girl, keeping the city of Metopolis safe.
Okay, nobody move. Hand over all the money.
It's Shirtless Girl.
Not so fast, bad guy.
Oh, yeah, like some dame is gonna...
Get a load of these.
Huh? Oh, I can't run away. Hell, I can't even walk.
Thanks, Shirtless Girl.
You're welcome, citizens. Don't touch those.
Sorry.
Along with her fellow superheroines, Wonder Bra Woman, Bikini Spider Woman, The Flash, and the Green Horny, Shirtless Girl formed the Legion of Super Hooters.
Look, it's the cat signal. Some boob must need help. I better call my teenage bosom buddy A-Cup and head to the wet cave. I know. I'll use the Hooter Scooter.
And once again, Shirtless Girl, you've kept Metopolis safe, and warm, and snug, and soft, bouncy. Once again, defeating your archenemy, the Jiggler. We are grateful. Thanks, Shirtless Girl. Yay!
You're welcome, citizens. Don't touch those.
Sorry.
Come again next week for another titillating adventure of Shirtless Girl.
Shirtless Girl is on next week. You can watch her here. If you're watching something else, you must be a queer.
I'm Shirtless Girl.
Shirtless Girl.
Shirtless Girl.
Sorry about that. You know, comedy doesn't really make much of a time traveler. Oh, I'm sorry. Are these on?
Yes.
Welcome back. It's the Bob and Tom Show. Chick sitting out this morning. We'll have Jeff Oskey sitting in at the sports desk in a matter of moments.
Oh.
The lady with the bangs is Christy Lee.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, those are nice bangs.
Thank you.
She's, of course, ensconced in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom.
Remember, 10,000 sailors can't be wrong. Let's see now, look across the way. Pretty soon to be occupying the crazycockwine.com sports desk, it'll be Mr. Jeff Oskey, comedian, staff member of the Bob and Tom Show. Ace Cosby, of course, is manning the controls over there. He's our engineer. He's also the legendary voice and the proprietor of the OmahaSteaks.com Ace Cosby joke of the day, brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. The only present your dad wants for Father's Day. I mean, I could get him something besides a tie. Hey, Dad, here's a book that you won't like, but you're going to feel obligated to devote 12 hours of your life to and then throw away. No, steaks. There's Mr. Pat Godwin in the other building. I can see him with the TV screen over there.
Hello, Tom.
Oh, he's wearing a hat today.
Yeah, I don't need any more teasing about my mob look.
Aww.
Your hair looks really good, I think.
We all liked it. Thank you.
Yeah. We like the longer-haired Pat Godwin, kind of slicked back. You look kind of like an Irish Jimmy Hoffa.
An Irish Jimmy Hoffa.
From The Irishman, of course.
Yeah.
I started that movie earlier this year, and it's almost done. Now, where was I? Did I cover everybody? Oh, I'm sorry, Josh Arnold.
That's okay.
I couldn't see you over there. It's the bright orange coming off of the chair, the orange insoles.com sidekick chair.
That's right.
Coming up, I've got a special orange request that we're going to get to. But first, we promised this yesterday. We hastily covered Today in History yesterday. We were kind of rushing at the end of the show, and one of the things that we kind of tripped over was the fact that it was the birthday of legendary sports broadcaster Dick Vitale.
Ah, yes.
A good friend of this show. Mm-hmm. And Dickie V, I want to say...
81.
81 today.
Wow. Yep.
Wow. And we have a couple of Dick Vitale tributes. But this one, which actually features the actual voice of Mr. Dick Vitale, is the perfect one to play in the early hours. And you'll see why in a matter of seconds.
Dick Vitale, you've heard him call games in his own unique style. Now, Bob and Tom Products is proud to present the Dick Vitale Alarm Clock.
Shake and bake, it's time to wake. I don't mean maybe, it's time to get up, baby. Shuck and jive, it's almost 5. Hey, come on now, get the sleep out of your eyes. Come on now, wake up, you're a Rolls Roycer.
The Dick Vitale Alarm Clock offers a single, double, or triple overtime snooze setting. Here, Dickie V gently remind you, it's time to start the new day.
The last 5 minutes, you show what you're made of, baby. Hey, come on now, get out of bed. Come on now, you're the 3S man. You're super scintillating, sensational.
And if you're a heavy sleeper, don't worry. The Dick Vitale Alarm Clock lets you sleep with one eye open. His.
Hey, baby.
The Dick Vitale Alarm Clock. The Vitalian Stallion sounds revelry with such classics as...
Hey, come on, sleepyhead. You're a PTP'er. Herky jerky, it's time for worky. 2, 4, 6, 8. Get up now or you're going to be late. Rise and shine, it's close to 9. This ain't no jack. Roll out of the sock. Hey, come on now, sleepyhead. Wake up. You're a space eater, baby. Hey, come on now. Get out of bed. I'm going to warm up the bus, baby. This baby's over. Come on now. Get out of bed.
Oh, and it's unbreakable.
Hey, come on. Get up. Get up. Come on now. Get
The Dick Vitale Alarm Clock.
Wake up. You're awesome, baby.
Thank you, Dick. You can see that, but certainly would wake you up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very painful. Coming up, I understand we have a windbag letter.
We do. Did you get out yesterday? Drive around a little bit? Were the roads better for you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There was incidents over the...
No, I was just complaining because a particular part of the road that they had closed down for most of the summer had been closed again over the weekend. I couldn't figure what they were doing.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, did someone figure it out?
Well, Brian writes in and just says, "Dear Tom, you do not understand the intricacies of road repair work."
True.
And then he says, in order to illustrate, he would like to tell you a joke. He says, "Here's a road repair joke. Never mind, I'm still working on it."
Nice.
That's a terrific joke. And he says, "We really need to put up with the men and women working in the hot sun, striving to make the roads pothole-free for Pat Godwin."
Ah, there you go.
Very good.
It's been about a year since I've hit one.
Oh, you should never have said that out loud.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I always slow down, and I completely understand. It's just that in this one particular case, it's an area that was shut down for so long, I think they were redoing it with Q-tips. And when they shut it down on Saturday again, I'm going, what could they possibly not have done? But I understand. So we also have a request for something involving all those hardworking folks on the roads. And we urge you to please slow down and don't be a jackass. Who was the idiot the other day that... What was the story? Somebody threw an actual pickle?
Yeah, threw a pickle at one of the construction workers.
That's real nice.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're going to have you be a stop sign, sir.
Yeah, you stand out there.
Yeah, okay. We'll get to that. We have another, a very special joke of the day submitted to Ace Cosby.
Oh, nice.
Submitted by let me just check. Yes, by a 5-year-old.
Okay.
Aw, cute.
And coming up in sports.
Probably going to suck.
We have...
I have standards, you know.
Did you see the joke?
Yeah.
What do you think? The kid's 5.
Raise it off.
God, unbelievable. His little Miles. We're going to get to his joke coming up. Let's see, where was that?
A couple of great things today. It's June 10th, right?
Right.
Today is National Iced Tea Day. One of your favorites.
I've got a giant urn of it in my little refrigerator.
It's also another one of your favorite things, National Ballpoint Pen Day.
Ah, yes.
You
right here.
Love a good pen, don't you, Tommy?
Oh yes, this is the Pilot Precise V5 RT.
Oh, you got the V5 RT?
The V5.
Wow,
Nice.
I had no idea.
V4 had issues.
Yeah.
It did.
Now, one of my previous favorite pens they stopped making, the Pentel Stinger 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mentioned it on the air, and God bless him, some guy sent me the last case of them. Which this was 20 years ago or so.
I remember the Stinger too.
So I have at least 40 of these, just in case some mid-level jackass decides to cancel. Well, we're not making the V5 RT anymore. What? How dare you?
It's also Urban Spices Day, so make a caprese salad or something. Use some fresh basil.
Okay.
What's your favorite spice? What's your favorite herb?
Salt.
Oh, man, lately
Does
I've been
that
I'm on an oregano kick.
Have you?
Pork, yeah. Man, oregano on a pork tenderloin is just the best.
Yeah, I don't know enough about spices. I just know what I like. My current favorite spice is that peanut butter and jelly ice cream that I was talking about.
Well, that's not really a spice, Tommy, but...
You know something? I don't want to split hairs.
You know what? Oregano might not really be a spice.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it is. It's an herb, and it's Urban Spice Day.
Okay.
Coming up, we had another weird story. There's so much stuff has been emerging with the coronavirus. Most of it horrible and awful, and things being canceled. I'm so tired of this. But we had a couple of odd things. One of them is the French fry request.
In Belgium?
In Belgium, the president of Belgium or whatever, the prime minister, whoever the hell it is.
Emperor, I believe.
Emperor, is it the emperor?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Is asking people to eat French fries at least twice a week. I mean, wouldn't that be great here? Forget your politics, whatever they are, but you get, what's her name, Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump up on stage together holding hands going, ladies and gentlemen, to cure this, we need to all eat French fries. It would be the greatest day in the history.
I just think twice a week would be considered low for most Americans.
It would be considered low for Trump.
yeah, he likes them.
But wouldn't that be great? You must eat more French fries.
Yeah.
And they have it like one of those World War II posters with Uncle Sam holding out.
Do it for your country.
Then the other odd one was about wine and how in France they are turning millions of gallons of wine into hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
We have a couple tributes to that coming up. You'd think, I'm with Christy on this. You'd think with all the depressing things that are happening, people would want more wine.
Literally, it's our recycle day this morning. When I put my trash cans out last night, the wind kept blowing the can open. So I put a rock on it because I don't want my neighbors to know how much we drank in the last 2 weeks.
I used to do that.
It's totally embarrassing.
With good reason.
Yeah.
Coming up, we'll give you more reasons to drink. We have some very odd stuff in the news, including Van Gogh's letters about the brothel. You familiar with these?
I'm not.
Oh yeah. Van Gogh, or if some people call him Van Huff. If you hear someone call them that, you can just never talk to them again. Because
a little pretentious, are they?
They're incredible douchebags. I was in Paris. Right now, let's talk about Father's Day. It's just around the corner. Think of all those great dads out there. They always get the worst presents on Father's Day. Ties, junk, cards. No. What do they want? They want steaks, Josh.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly
tell me
right.
more.
They want the perfectly aged tender steaks that only Omaha Steaks can deliver to your door. My goodness. And this year they're going to Dad's door because you're going to go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code BTS into that search bar to give the perfect gift for Dad this year. You'll see all the great options available. Many include free shipping. And this is just a bonus. I cannot get over a free 1-pound package of their perfectly cured, incredibly thick applewood smoked steak cut bacon.
Man. It's not that paper thin bacon that.
Yes.
Yeah. No. This is manly, fatherly bacon.
Exactly. You may need a knife and fork for this big. Omaha Steaks has a variety of Father's Day packages that include world-famous Omaha Steaks, naturally aged at least 21 days for that tenderness you want, hand-carved to perfection, burgers, franks, sausages, perfect for grilling, premium poultry and pork cut by Omaha Steaks butchers, individually sealed for freshness and flavor, tasty to eat and easy to make side dishes, plus those one-step family meals that you throw in a crock pot or in a pan, and oh my gosh, they're a breeze and they're delicious. Artisan desserts and much, much more. Make Father's Day simple this year. Send Dad the gift he really wants, perfectly aged Omaha Steaks. Yeah. Get free shipping and free steak cut bacon with select packages. Visit omahasteaks.com. Type BTS in the search bar for the best Father's Day gifts today. You love your dad. Prove it by sending him Omaha Steaks.
That's it. Remember that dog in the cartoon? He'd eat something and he'd go, oh, he'd start hugging himself.
Oh, yes.
Then he'd pump his legs and float up. What was that dog's name?
Oh, gosh.
I don't remember.
Chick would know.
That's how you feel when you have steak cut bacon.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
If you're having steak cut bacon, you have to clean off your ceiling because you're going to float up. That's so good. Omaha Steaks. My message would be, my 4-year-old daughter eats almost nothing. Last night, again, cereal for dinner, by the way. My 4-year-old daughter loves the Omaha Steaks.
What'd she turn down?
Last night, she turned down chicken nuggets.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. Wow, that's
I said,
amazing.
Hey, these taste just like the ones from Chick-fil-A. She literally looked at him and said, no. So I ate them. They were from our favorite Japanese restaurant that Christy and I go
Yum,
to.
yum.
When we come back, we have a tribute to all those great people working on the roads, fixing them up. We do appreciate you. And we're going to find out what are Jerry Garcia pancakes.
Oh.
Grateful Dead fans and chefs.
Do you have to lick them?
Pay
or can
attention.
You just eat them?
Yes, they're not full of acid. But that's a fair, I take it back. That's fair. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
This is Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, Mark Allison here with you on a Wednesday, hump day, everybody, June 10th, 2020. Thanks so much for joining us on the Bob and Tom Show this morning. Great guests on the way, including our resident geek, Jessica Alsman, and comedian relationship expert, Allie Breen from New York City, both via Zoom. We'll catch up with them after this. Well, later this morning is what I'm talking about right here. You know how the show works. We start with sports, and then we go into other things, and then the guests come later. Yeah, it's the Bob and Tom Show on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union Entertainment News Desk. These days, police departments in the United States have come under scrutiny because of reports of brutality and racial profiling. So, the Paramount Network has decided it's now the end of the line for the TV show Cops. The network says the reality show is off the air and there are no plans to bring it back. Paramount put the show on hold last month as anti-police protests intensified over the death of George Floyd. Now, that decision is permanent. Are you ready to go back to the movies again? Well, ready or not, the nation's theaters are hoping you do return. The largest chain in this country, AMC, plans to reopen next month. But while it and other chains will be back in business, it won't be business as usual. There won't be many movies to see since Hollywood scrapped its summer lineup due to the coronavirus pandemic. And to maintain social distancing, theaters will be open to limit seatings to between 25 and 50% of capacity. And the Salzburg Festival will be one of classical music's few offerings in the summer of the coronavirus pandemic, staging a reduced 100th anniversary celebration with capacities limited to about 50%. Europe's top festival announced yesterday it will present 90 performances, down from 212. Venues will cut from 16 to 7, and intermissions eliminated to reduce audience interaction. Originally set to run from July 18th to August 30th, the festival will now start August 1st. Nearly every other major summer festival in Europe and the United States has been canceled. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
The part of the story I'm fact-checking is that you went to the lobby to check out a fire, and everyone should know that you left your wife, your son, and your nieces in that hotel room.
Yeah. It was a brand new hotel, and it was 17 below zero, and the fire alarm went off. Pipes had frozen in this brand new hotel up above.
See, these are you said all of these details before. You neglected to mention that you left your family in a burning hotel room.
You're glossing over the fact that if you perish, all is lost.
Yes.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, guy, it's Kid Tarmac. This is Bob and Tom 24/7. Kid Tarmac.
Your girl complains about the way you love her. It's just the same old mattress dance each time. Nothing's ever new. Wham bam and you are through. Well, why not try these moves I found online? Do the Cleveland steamer or try the donkey punch. The old Egyptian tea bag could be the perfect lunch. She'll love a Gaylord Perry or the old rusty trombone. And a German knuckle cake will really make her moan. She thinks you're immature and sometimes boring. So spice things up and cruise the internet. Google will retrieve some things you won't believe. So give your girl a night she won't forget. Do the dirty Sanchez or try the change machine. The Pasadena mudslide will really make her scream. Try a Roman helmet or the good old minivan. Or do a Pittsburgh platter to prove that you're the man. The old Moroccan meatball, a Bulgarian gas mask. The Alabama Hot Pocket, it's best she doesn't ask. The disappearing panda or the raspberry beret. The San Juan Capistrano just might make her day. Give her the dirty muskie or try the snowmobile. I'm sure a Boston pancake will really make her squeal. Do the big boy combo or the old
622 Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Thank you very much, legendary voice of Ace Cosby. Christy Lee has the weather forecast.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by CarX. Windy with thunderstorms still around. Look for a high of 85. Partly cloudy overnight, low 60. Tomorrow is going to be gorgeous with lots of sunshine, high 81. And we're going to start like a 10-day beautiful period. It's 80 already.
Great.
Wow. 10-day period.
Little sticky.
Oh, really?
Come on, grow up.
It's unbelievable. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show, where maturity goes to die.
Yeah.
Let's see, where was I? This is Tom speaking. That's Ace Cosby, our engineer. That's Josh.
Hi.
Josh Arnold is sitting in the orange. I was going to say the orangebarrels.com. No, I'm sorry. The orangeinsoles.com sidekick chair, because the song Orange Barrels by the great Todd Young coming up momentarily. Christy Lee is through the glass. Right now, there's just three of us in the big room. Chick will not be here today, but Jeff Oskey will be sitting in for him shortly. Oh. Pat Godwin is in the other building, but we've got him linked up via some video thing.
It's called the camera.
It's a call, yeah.
Okay, camera, screen. But apparently, I said it was the Zoom. It's not the Zoom.
No, it's a hard wire.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of hard, we have...
where are you going with this?
Yeah, I don't know, but
we have a,
I'm all ears.
We have a porn guy running for office.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that story coming up.
I've also been vindicated. Is that the word?
Sure.
What's the context? What's happening?
Christy, I'm a recycling driver from Cincinnati. I was listening to the show, as I do every day, as I get on the truck. And you are 100% correct. 90% of what I pick up on a daily basis is alcohol bottles, whether it's wine, beer, or liquor. I never realized how many people drink that much even before the quarantine started.
Wow.
So, thank you, Corey.
Your point is that you're embarrassed at the amount of wine bottles you have.
Yeah, it was, and the lid kept blowing up. Check local listings. It was a little windy in our area, and I live on a rail, like a walking trail, so people walk by all the time.
Hilarious.
And I didn't want people to know that thing was so full.
There's Dipso's house.
Yeah. Oh boy.
In my defense, I'm not the only one there.
Speaking of wine.
Yes.
This is kind of cool. There's I guess the international wine competition, of course, takes place in France every year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where else would it be? Well, and you think about it, though, the wines from all over the world are amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
And the winner this year in one category, the Cabernet competition,
Cabernet Sauvignon,
is a wine from Mexico, from Vinos Don Leo.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2013 Cabernet. And
Cab Sav, as we say.
Yeah, $45 a bottle, which
you
is
say
very
Cab
reasonable.
Sav like
Cab Sav,
like I say the Sabs when I refer to Black Sabbath.
That's right.
Coming up, we have Black Sabbath news. By the way, I'm very excited about that. But that was kind of cool that a wine from Mexico won. But it's interesting. What interests me is that the judges are experts on wine, but they blindfold them.
Right.
So
I think it's the only fair way to do it.
Yeah, so they're not going to be biased.
Mm-hmm.
Although it was a little tricky because, of course, the Mexican wine, there was a worm at the bottom of the glass.
No, well, sure, yeah.
It may have
naturally.
Yeah. I don't know how the White Claw did this year, but do they gauge the seltzer wines? Is that considered a wine?
I don't know.
White
I
Claw?
don't think. No, White Claw's not a
Hard seltzer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I believe White Claw did win 3 out of the 4 Karens this year.
Oh,
though.
did it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, got the Karen Award?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the big
course,
Karen.
The yoga pants. Yeah, so
I felt hacky just saying that.
Tiny gold,
you're fine.
tiny gold statue of a Range Rover.
Now a trophy wipe trophy.
Now we have Pat Godwin. Don't you have a little tribute? Oh, I know what we were talking about. We were talking about this. The other thing that was the wine related was the fact that there's this gigantic glut of wine in France. This is what really surprises me.
Yes.
And they are, in fact, turning it into hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm. I have the story right here. 33 distilleries have been authorized to take the 200 million liters of unsold wine and turn it into ethanol or hydroalcoholic gel to make the hand sanitizer.
Wow. And you have a song about this, Pat?
Yeah, we did it yesterday.
Has Pierre made it in this morning?
Pierre Hardon.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Pierre. Good to see you.
Hello. You would have thought we planned this.
Bonjour.
We make a wine named Poulet Foussé. Sommeliers love it and they're very juicy.
That's something Spanish.
But it's not selling well and bills are due. Maybe it'd make a fine hand gel too. Ha! We tried it out and this is what folks said. Use it once, made my hands all red. Sanitizer works made out of wine. But a bottle costs about 69
Franks.
Hand gel. Hand gel. Will it sell? Does Crazy Cock make a hand gel? Cha-conk, conk.
Little Crazy Cock wine. I don't think they make a hand gel. Coming up, we had talked earlier in the year about when there was the huge shortage of hand gel, sanitizer gel, that a number of distillers were actually making it. And did you see the story? We'll have it later on about the gin company that was doing just that. They were using their distillery to make hand sanitizer.
Honorable of them.
And yes, very honorable. It was inadvertently bottled in the gin bottles.
Oh, and people were drinking it?
They've recalled it. Now the good news, this is in Australia.
This is the thickest gin I've ever had.
Yikes.
I'm sure there are those that'll probably drink it anyway. I would imagine it's really bad for you. So we'll get to that story coming up. Now, did you have another windbag for me?
Yes, we were talking about Kate Blanchett the other day. Christy, you remember, she admitted to a bit of an accident she had.
With a chainsaw.
Yes, she said she got a small head nick.
A nick in her head.
Yeah. Well, Tom then talked about the dangers of using chainsaws and how you should only hire professionals to do so. Well, This person writes in, Dear Dumbass.
Oh, that must be for me.
Yes. Tom's reaction to the story about Kate Blanchett's chainsaw accident is typical of an incompetent boob. Common sense, mechanical skills, and some average physical abilities are all it takes to safely operate a chainsaw. Sincerely, Stumpy Randall.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how he got the nickname.
When I read that article, you very rarely see minor chainsaw accidents.
Yes.
Maybe if someone was carrying one and it wasn't on and they cut them. Yeah, the chainsaws are super dangerous. And I applaud the people that use them. But if you're not used to using one, maybe you're better off hiring out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know exactly how Ms. Blanchett cut herself in the head with a chainsaw. But
she's not really going into detail about it. I don't blame her.
I mean, because a nick with a slight slip could become fatal.
Yeah.
With a chainsaw, so you don't want to be the guy on a ladder with a chainsaw. Okay, be very careful out there.
Thank you, Stumpy.
Okay, did you ever hear my Stumpy story?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
Oh, have you ever heard this?
This is a classic.
This is a true story, and every word of this is true. Were you here that maybe Ace was here? I don't know if you were here that day, Christy. We had a guy come in that was a world-class para-athlete. Mm-hmm. Is that the word? Proper term?
Yeah.
He was a guy that had part of one of his legs was gone.
He was a Paralympian?
Yeah. And he was the champion, and he had he had an artificial limb.
Right.
And he was wearing shorts, so it was no secret. And he came in to talk about that, and he had the artificial limb. They run with those blades on and stuff.
Right.
It's amazing,
Yes.
More power to him. He was here, and at the time, we had a great person that worked here whose last name was Stumpy. I'm not making this up. Am I right? Am I right?
Ace? Yes.
That was
absolutely.
Her name. And
she worked here for many years.
Worked here for a long time.
No.
And yes. And this guy was on the air, and during the commercial break, she came in and introduced herself, and and she paused at just the wrong time. Said, "Hi, her name was Jody.
Jody.
Hi, I'm Jody. Stumpy." That was about as awkward as everything's ever got in this building, or that building, or that. Anyway, anyways, more power to everybody out there and doing whatever you do. But I'm just saying, chainsaws are for people that know what they're doing. And,
absolutely.
I'm very handy with tools. I worked construction for a while, but I would never use a chainsaw.
Yeah, there's
and also wear eye protection. After you get that chunk of wood in your eye and then drop the chainsaw and cut your arm off. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah, so
it's a happy show today.
Sorry,
That's okay.
we're just lucky Kate Blanchett didn't cut her head off.
Right.
Now I could give you a list of actors and actresses I would like to have their heads cut off.
handing chainsaws.
We don't have that kind of time. I did want to get to the mailbag here, and I say mailbag, but it's some kind of electronic thing because I'm looking at this.
Email,
Yeah, email.
How does that work, Josh?
How does email work?
Yeah.
Well,
you type something into your
Bob
computer.
and Tom at bobandtom.com is where you would email us.
Okay. Now, the first letter, let's see if we have time for both these. Well, let's do this one. This one involves Josh.
Oh.
You were talking about trying to set up your bird feeder.
Yeah.
And you set it up right by your window.
Yeah, it's attached to my window, in fact, just outside my kitchen. And
you gotten any birds yet?
I had, finally, one cardinal flew on the window ledge where the bird feeder is, but did not take any food. So I think they're getting a little more curious and maybe brave.
Is this bird feeder over anything significant? Hovering over a porch, say, or?
It is, no, the closest thing to it would be my air conditioner.
Okay.
There you go.
Be prepared to have it covered in bird feces.
Not well.
Now,
I have a hose.
Yeah, thank you.
Dear Bob and Tom Show. This is from Kevin. I was just standing at the stove cooking eggs, and a bird the size of a pterodactyl slammed into the window right behind me, scaring me to death. Yes, Josh, my wife keeps a gigantic window bird feeder right outside the window. Kevin from Erie, Pennsylvania.
Well, you know what the bird was doing. He was mad about you cooking the eggs.
And not sharing.
And that leads us to this classic.
Sharing?
A little bit of something from Jimmy Schubert. Jimmy Schubert is our guest.
I'll tell you, something happened to me the other day. I was in this diner getting breakfast, and I'm looking at the menu, and I get this thing on the menu called a protein scramble, and I'm looking at it, and basically it's an egg omelet with chicken meat in it. which is wrong. I mean, you don't take the eggs out of the chicken and then cook the chicken and put it in the eggs. Okay, that's too much chicken. I don't know who's back there cooking some kind of poultry serial killer, some barnyard strangler. That's an omelet that spans 2 generations.
That's wrong.
That's not breakfast, that's a vendetta. You know, that's like taking your hamburger and dipping it into your milk. You don't do it. It's not kosher. You got to separate some things, you know what I mean?
That's not breakfast, it's a vendetta.
What do you got against the chicken? I feel bad for the chicken, you know what I mean? I just want to meet the guy, the first guy who found out that you could eat the chickens unborn. Because you got to figure that, the mom's chicken sitting on the eggs going, finally, I got the family I've always wanted. Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going with my babies? What is it, a frying pan, you sick bastard? The poor chicken, I feel sorry for her. But, we have to eat,
Yeah, I guess we do.
Yeah, but I prefer mobile food myself. I prefer food that's had to make it in the world just like I have. I mean, if I'm going to eat food, I prefer food that doesn't come from the ground. Because vegetables, they suck the nutrients from the mud. Would you eat mud? No. Then why eat the middleman? God made animals slow enough to catch. He obviously intended for us to eat them. Besides that, what's the fun in hunting a vegetable? Any moron can sneak up with a carrot. Some of that stuff's not even food. Celery, that's not food. That's like dental floss trapped inside of carbohydrates. I was reading about celery. There's 4 calories in a stick of celery. 4 takes your body 6 calories to process. A stalk of celery. You could kill yourself eating celery. That's not food. That's slow suicide.
Jimmy Schubert on why you shouldn't have an omelet with eggs in it. Coming up in sports, we have a couple of interesting sports items today, including UFC action. They're going to be going to an island. I think it's in
Abu Dhabi?
United Arab Emirates coming up, so they're going to have some action there.
Wow.
As sports start to get back in action. And then on the other side of that, more cancellations. It looks like a Lollapalooza.
Yeah. Saw that, yeah.
Coachella are not going to happen. So I'm really getting tired of this. Let's figure this thing out. Got to be able to move forward. Update on the guy that had the fish caught in his rectum.
Oh, come on.
An update. Okay. Is he still with us?
Why do you act like I had something to do with this?
I know I brought the story to you, but it's still disgusting.
And then on a positive note, speaking of fish, did you see this Michael Jordan story?
Fish? No.
He has an incredible boat, and he's involved in this marlin competition.
Yeah. No kidding.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and have you read anything about this? The prizes are like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever tried to fish for a marlin?
It's serious business.
Oh, my God.
And like you could win $1 million, which would pay for the first 4 feet of your boat. These boats are incredible. We'll get to that coming up. Now, right now, I want to remind you that everybody needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. Now is the earbud season, of course, because there are a lot of voices you want to not have to listen to, frankly. And the Raycon earbuds are the best ones. Chick brought these to my attention. They're half the price of the other premium wireless earbuds on the market. You know those white ones that keep falling out of your ears? That won't happen with the E25 earbuds from Raycon. Why? Because they have a whole set of little array of little rubber gaskets or tips, whatever you want to call them, that make them the perfect
ear
fit.
Fitters?
Ear fitters. Of course, that's the word. I'm talking about the Raycon E25. 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and celebrities like Snoop Dogg and the Chickster are obsessed with Raycons, and you can get them right now for 15% off, and they'll deliver them right to your house. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to walk into a store. You can get them delivered right to your home by going to buyraycon.com/Tom. A lot of 3-letter combinations there. Buy, Raycon, Tom. Got it all? Mm-hmm. Throw a dot in there somewhere. That's buyraycon.com/Tom. 15% off the great Raycon wireless earbuds. Great for making phone calls. Great for listening to maybe this show. I have been told that our show is 15% funnier if you're listening on Raycons.
How about that?
Buyraycon.com/Tom. Tell them the Bob and Tom Show sent you. Love the Raycon earbuds. When we come back, we will dip our toes into the world of sports. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Want to share something? Send us an email. BobandTom@bobandtom.com. This is the Bob and Tom Show. Bob and Tom 24/7. Not on air, online, all the time.
Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, Mark Allison with you. Rolling through a Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. Allie Breen on the way from New York City. She's had some great letters in the last few weeks from people who have been stuck at home with girlfriends, boyfriends, you name it. It's been interesting to hear the relationship letters through this period of time in our lives, and I'm sure today will be no exception. That's Allie Breen coming up later this morning, our comedian relationship expert. It's funny we call it a relationship expert. It's more of just reading letters from you, and we might read a letter about your relationship later this morning right here on Bob and Tom 24/7. I'm Mark Allison with your Bob and Tom sports update from the crazycockwine.com sports desk. A pair of people familiar with the negotiations tell the AP baseball players move toward teams but remain far apart on the economics of starting the pandemic-delayed season. Adamant they receive full prorated salaries while offering to cut the regular season to just 89 games. MLB did not appear to view the proposal as productive and made no comment. Well, this is going well. Players made their move one day after management cut its proposed schedule from 82 games down to 76 games. Are you keeping track at home? A lot of numbers and not much happening. The Taiwan Baseball League is continuing as a trailblazer for sports resuming. Did you hear that? Resuming after the lockdown and the coronavirus pandemic. An easing of restrictions by the government last weekend allows more fans at the ballparks and allows them to sit closer together while they're supporting their teams in the Taiwan-based CPBL. Spectators are only required to wear face masks when they're not in their seats, and ballparks can operate up to 50% of capacity. The Toronto Raptors have an NBA championship to defend, a very long stay at the Disney complex awaiting them, and plenty of unanswered questions on how the restart of the season will work. As the NBA's lone Canadian team, there's an added complexity. The U.S. border, the Raptors still deciding whether to have workouts before going to Disney and where those workouts may take place. That's a quick look at your sports update. Not that there's any sports to update. I'm Mark Allison. Have yourselves a great day. More of the Bob and Tom Show on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
I got a joke for you, Ace. Did you hear the CEO of the world's biggest cable company died yesterday?
Oh.
Yeah, his funeral's next Tuesday, sometime between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. And his widow invited me to come over to her house and lay some cable of my own later.
Oh,
swear to God. I said, that's cool, baby, but just so you know, we got called before we dig.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
All day, all night, all Bob and Tom. This is Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, little man, get up out of bed and wipe all the sleep from those eyes. I know that it's late, but we just couldn't wait to tell you our big new surprise. Remember that night about 3 months ago when you walked into Mom and Dad's room? And then how we talked of the birds and the bees and arousal and climax and wounds. Well, 6 months from now, you'll be a big brother. That's right, little tiger, it's true. Mommy and Daddy are making a better version of you. It might be a boy, just like his older brother, but without the flaws holding you down. Or if we are lucky, we could have a girl like we wanted the first time around. Maybe this new person won't wet the bed or bug us for candy and toys. I bet the new you will shut up when we tell them and not make so much friggin' noise. Thanks to the 5 years we've had you to practice on, now we know what not to do. Mommy and Daddy are making a better version of you. imagine the things he'll achieve as a doctor or lawyer or Indian chief. He'll be an astronaut, he'll bring world peace, he will win the World Series and cure all disease. He will be handsome and he will be popular. He will be wealthy and very important. And he will be famous and he will be special. And you...
25 Q95, it's the Bob and Tom Show.
It's almost like poetry when it comes out of Ace, doesn't it?
It is, yeah.
I feel you try going, this is CNN. Oh, wait a minute, this isn't CNN. This is the Bob and Tom Show on Q95. Christy has the forecast.
Yes, windy with thunderstorms possible today. Look for a high of 85. It's a very muggy 80 already.
It is muggy.
Yeah, muggy.
All right, thanks, Christy Lee. Let's get back to the action. Welcome back. This is the Bob and Tom Show. We are worldwide on American Forces Radio. Happy to be here. And sitting in for the Chickster today. Look at that beard.
It's great. Jeffrey.
It's Jeff Oskey.
Jeff.
How's it going?
Oh.
Good. Good to see you.
This is Tom speaking. Mr. Oskey is ensconced in the crazycockwine.com sports arena. That's right. It's an arena. And since Jeff knows next to nothing about sports, this should be just like our regular sports cast. I know. Don't get him mad. Ace Cosby is over there at the omahasteaks.com joke desk. Christy Lee next door in the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom.
Yes, sir.
Once again, this is Tom speaking. That's Pat Godwin over there. I can see him. He's in the next building, joining us via camera stuff. And in the orangeinsoles.com hot seat. It is a comedian and now a permanent member of our show. Happy to have him here. It's Josh Arnold.
Oh, hi.
It's good to see you, sir. And
Great to be here.
You had a windbag letter.
Yeah.
About me whining about some road construction.
That's right. Yeah.
And ordinarily, I totally get it. I understand the roads have to be fixed. And I applaud the people that are fixing them. That's very hard work. I was just somewhat frustrated over the weekend when an area that had been closed off for the entire summer last year was closed off again.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a single shovel or anyone doing anything. I just saw miles of backed up cars. So I don't know what they were doing, unless they were maybe detailing it with Q-tips, because the road was great. But there must be someone told me it was some kind of preparation for a flyover, which is...
What?
You wouldn't think roads would have to prepare for that.
Yeah, apparently they're putting what they call a flyover over the freeway.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
Yes, I don't know. All I know
like
is...
a bridge or something?
Yeah, it's like a different...
Oh,
It's complicated.
I thought there were planes flying over.
Well,
that's what I thought, too.
Make it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But Pat and I were talking about this, and there is a lot of construction. Again, be very careful. Men and women out there working hard. I am on your side, and I always slow down, and I hate the jackasses that speed through that, and I hope you get pulled over and get put in prison. But, Pat, you've got a song about what's happening out there on the roads right now?
I think what you need is a protest song about this, okay?
Okay.
They're setting up cones. Lanes there are blocking. Tomorrow your speed. There'll be a clocking. You carpool to work, and it's your week for driving. If they stop traffic, who knows when you're arriving? When rush hour's over, you'll feel like imbibing. So I'll tell you over and over and over again, my friend, you've got to believe we're on the eve of construction.
That's great.
Oh, God, I'd forgotten about that song. The original. What? Don't tell me. Wait a minute. Was it Barry Maguire?
Barry Maguire, yeah.
Oh, the eve of destruction. God. What a song.
Yes.
The eastern world, it is exploding.
What a vocal raw when he sings it.
Bullets loading. God, I haven't heard that in ages. And particularly when it's turned into a goofy, stupid song. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. We were talking to Bert Kreischer yesterday, and we got onto the topic of what is it that we do? Oh, that's right. It's electronically transformed into stupidity. So, got a nice letter here.
Oh, what are they saying about?
It's always about you, isn't it?
No, this one is not. This comes to us from a huge Detroit Lions fan.
Yes.
ST. And he says, the state flower is in full bloom here in Michigan.
Oh.
Apparently, the state flower in Michigan is an orange barrel. And to commemorate the orange barrel, he would like to hear this. Great song by this guy is one of the best live performers I have ever seen. He is Todd Yan, and he got together with the Bob and Tom Bandit Orchestra. Steve Ali did this arrangement of this great song. The state flower of Michigan, the orange barrel. I think it may be everyone's state flower.
Yeah.
But again, be careful out there. People working hard. Now, another topic that we touched on yesterday here in the Bob and Tom program was food coloring.
Yes.
There was some news story about some guy had written a book, and he claimed in the book that some famous chef was using food coloring. What was it?
It was yellow food coloring in his pasta. It was in Italy.
But then he actually retracted it.
It was turmeric or however you say that.
It turned out it was some spice or whatever. But I contend that so what if you're using food coloring? It's called food coloring. It's not poison.
No, you don't do that.
Well, whatever. The
performance enhancing is.
There is food coloring in so many things that we eat.
Oh,
right,
gosh,
but not
yes.
in stuff that.
For example, certain soda pops would be clear.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
But I was asking if there were any chefs out there and how they felt about this, and I got this from a 20-year veteran. John writes, I ran a breakfast place for a few years. We had something we called Jerry Garcia pancakes. Now, for those of you not familiar with the late, great Jerry Garcia, the tremendous songwriter, singer, guitarist for the Grateful Dead.
Of course.
Obviously the Grateful Dead associated with tie-dye. So the Jerry Garcia pancakes, we made them look like they were tie-dyed.
Oh, cool.
Now, this is from Chef John. He writes, what a pain in the ass.
I bet.
But they sold like crazy.
Sold like hotcakes.
Hey, it would have been funnier, but that's not what he wrote. This is his letter. Now, John, can you... We may have to email him back. I wonder, how would you do that?
Probably.
Oh, go ahead.
Would you have to, like, drizzle...
You drizzle it during the batter and then put it in the skillet?
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Would you have to, like, spin the skillet as you drizzled or something?
Spin the batter bowl is what I would think. You'd have to do it like that.
Yeah.
But it's an affront to true culinary arts.
Or you could pour the batter on.
It's an affront to true culinary.
You don't use food coloring in any of that stuff.
You ever tried to please a 4-year-old trying to eat? You do all kinds of stupid stuff to pancakes. Look, I'm going to make it look like it's a smiley when I put the syrup on there so you'll eat something.
Boy, did I make the worst Mickey Mouse head the past weekend.
Oh, did you try?
It was like Salvador Dali. Painted him.
Last night I was working very hard to get my 4-year-old to eat something, and I once again failed. We have to eat something. No, then I got the I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then 30 seconds later, can we have some more of that peanut butter and jelly ice cream? Wait a minute. Wait. Thought you weren't hungry.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
No.
But since you're 4 and so cute,
You gave her the ice
let's
cream.
break out the peanut butter ice cream.
Ah, Tommy.
Peanut butter and jelly ice cream, by the way. It's just fabulous. Right now, sitting in for Chick McGee, it's Jeff Oskey. Jeff, do you have a preview of what's coming in sports tonight?
Oh, yeah. We have lots of good stuff coming up. Stock car tracks closed. Abu Dhabi. They got some fighting going on there.
Something happening there?
Michael Jordan's dominating yet another sport because he hasn't dominated enough in this world.
Those are all positives. I'm sad to see the tracks closed, but Abu Dhabi is going to be the place where they do some. They're bringing back the fights.
Yeah.
UFC, yeah. At what is that? United Arab Emirates? Is that where that is?
Abu Dhabi.
Well, it just sounds.
It's fun to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Abu Dhabi.
Everybody Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi.
I guess so. When we come back, we'll find out about Abu Dhabi. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Just got to get a hold of us. Call, fax, mail, or email. Get all the contact information you need at bobandtom.com. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
A look at their car is perhaps the best way to introduce the uninitiated to WFBQ Radio's morning team, Bob and Tom. The pink and camouflage junker features 3 hood ornaments, a bowling trophy, the hind quarter of a horse, and a jar of tartar sauce that will have to be explained elsewhere.
Q95, it's 8:42. You're with Bob and Tom on a 2 for Tuesday.
Good morning.
Howdy.
Great.
Holmes.
Sherlock. Let's play word association.
Okay.
Howdy.
Holmes.
Sherlock.
Holmes.
John C. You're with Bob and Tom.
Holmes.
The human tripod.
I see.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bob.
That's all right.
From 6 a.m. and for the next 4 hours, Bob Kavoyan and Tom Griswold fill the airwaves with jokes and pranks that range from silly to hilarious and from bawdy to sick.
Why is sex like air?
Why is sex like air? I give up, Bob.
Because it's no big thing unless you're not getting it.
They deliver a National Lampoon sort of humor that leaves the audience laughing while wondering how Q95 can broadcast some of the things they say.
Half the joke is in your mind. The joke isn't stated outright.
Mm-hmm.
The person has to put something into it to get something out of it.
Yeah, they're fun and
people like them.
People enjoy them.
They laugh at them. And there's an alternative. You can always change the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But people aren't. After 2 years on the air, Bob and Tom have taken Q95's morning show to the top of the volatile morning FM ratings. WFBQ is the 3rd radio station the zany team has worked for. After 6 years together, they've got the routine down pat. Bob runs the audio control board, plays straight man, and provides the program's famous laugh.
Amateur phylactics. Amazing concept, I think, and I think it's going to.
Tom sits on a mound of notes and papers to provide the program's often quoted jokes and many of its voices.
Oh, hello, Mohandas.
Hello, Bob.
How are you?
Oh, I am fine today. Hello, Tom. I'm Mohandas. You look very good today. Thank you so much, Mohandas.
Much of their banter is off the cuff, with an occasionally rehearsed punchline off mic during a song.
Only if it makes you late for the ceremony.
She's controversial. She's provocative. She's the famous sex therapist, Dr. Ruth Weisboner. Good morning, Dr. Ruth. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Is it wrong to have sex before you're married?
No, as long as you're not late for the wedding.
Bob and Tom say they get very few complaints from listeners as they poke fun at every special interest group imaginable, and station management has left them unrestrained on the limits of their humor. After 2 years, the result has been high ratings, a devoted following, and 2 happily transplanted Hoosiers who say they just might stay to grow old and gray on Q95.
Could be. It's very possible. In fact, it's already started.
Yeah. Bob's getting gray.
Yeah. Tom's getting old.
Yeah.
Flash flooding and isolated river flooding as rain continues into today. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show on the way.
Bob and Tom, 24/7. Oh, yeah.
Last call, announced the barkeep, and then their eyes did meet. Betty the bearded lady and Tom the 4-inch freak. No relation to you, Tom. Tom lowered his voice and made a pass. What are you doing later? Betty thought as she stroked her beard. Nothing, sweet potato. People pointed, jokes were made, but it fell on 4 deaf ears. Tom thrust his tiny shoulders back and ignored the painful jeers. Betty, he said, the world can be such a cruel, unfeeling place. She said, I know, my little pumpkin, and kissed his tiny face. She carried him through the parking lot to the woods that lay beyond. Never before had either felt such an instant common bond. Betty, he said, gazing down at his tiny platform shoe. Tonight I would like nothing more than to make sweet love to you. She said, I'm a virgin. He said, so am I. She said, don't you think that's weird? He said, not really. I'm 4 inches tall and, you know, you got the beard. She pressed him tight against her bosom. He inhaled her perfumed air. He covered her neck with tiny hickeys and stroked her facial hair. The moonlight danced off his cowboy hat. She giggled and she swayed. She undid his tiny rhinestone belt. A cricket looked away. She set him down, unzipped her dress, still tipsy from the booze. She tripped, pulling off her panties, and crushed him with her shoes. Bearded Betty never married. Her mistake sure took its toll. She still owns that pair of shoes, and Tom's still in her soul.
701 Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
That's right, Dr. Lanter. He's my man. And Aces, too. We'll talk about that coming up. Right now, Christy Lee has a very quick forecast.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by CarX. Chance for thunderstorms today. It'll be windy, high 85. Sunshine 81 tomorrow. Right now, cloudy skies, 77 degrees.
I also want to remind you that I want to say 4 Fridays ago it was 28.
Amazing.
That's what happens. That's Central Indiana weather. And that's why perhaps you'll want to put on the dad shorts today. And that's also why you want to go check that thermostat. You know, the dad shorts.
Sure, yeah.
The ones you wear with the high black socks and the sandals. So your neighbors can walk by and go, wow, what a jackass. But that's the inside of the house is what I'm talking about. That's where heating and air conditioning comes in, especially air conditioning this time of year. And that's where my buddy Jeff Chapman comes in. Chapman Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. The plumbing part, well, make sure that sump pump is sumping. If you've got a sump plump, tell me about that later. The point is, make sure that your AC is ACing. Get those filters all checked. Very important to have clean air and great air conditioning. Jeff Chapman, the man for all seasons, ChapmanHeating.com. Welcome back. It's the Bob and Tom Show. Happy to be here. What is it? The 10th of June, 2020, in the era of the semi-quarantine. A lot of stuff opening up. It's great to see a lot of things opening up.
Yeah.
Keep your space. Do what you want to do.
Wear your
This
mask.
is America.
Yeah.
Feel free. It's just great to be going out a little bit. It's a shame because some stuff is still not able to get up and running. Lollapalooza in Chicago, the great music festival, canceled. We'll get to hear about that coming up. I do like the mayor of Chicago, though.
Yeah.
She's a badass.
I don't know much about her.
No,
She's got a lot going on up there.
Yeah, she does not take any guff, I believe is the French spelling of SH.
She said the S storm the other day. I was like, what?
Yeah, I like her. Where was I? Let's introduce everybody. We'll go around the horn here. That's Pat Godwin in the next building. We got him delivered here via...
Hello.
Is that one of my shirts?
No.
That's a good shirt.
Thank you.
Is that the one you spilled coffee all over?
This is the one I spilled coffee on. You wanted me to wear another one, but it was just too big.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you spilled coffee on it today?
Yeah, driving in the car here. Boom. All over my...
Well, because you got to understand...
drive?
Yeah, I was going to say, that drive...
I have less than a mile, I know.
It's got to be...
It's 3 blocks. I used to walk it. I know, because I lived over there.
It may be a full 600 yards.
Come on.
Were you drinking out of a mug?
You know, I like to have the coffee in the car. I drink the whole thing on the way here. It's my
was there a
regimen.
lid on the
Wait a
cup?
minute. You can drink a whole cup of coffee from your house to here?
Yep. I love it. That's
And you can drink it right out of the pot, can't you? Like hot, scalding.
Yes. Yeah, I love it like that.
I can't do it. I
I hate drinking coffee while driving.
That's my favorite. I don't know why.
And I hate people who drink coffee on airplanes. Oh, God, it pisses me off.
But you know what? It kind of bugs me, too, and it shouldn't.
Oh, that's fine. You've got something that can scald me in my seat that's being passed over my head.
I'm always like, you can't wait 2 hours.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I'm on my, fifth cup of coffee this morning, but I'm...
Right.
And when I get my coffee, I don't walk and drink it at the same time because, as you know, I can't chew gum and walk at the same time.
Yeah, we're aware.
Don't like drinking in the car. That was the introductions. Thanks, everybody. Wait a minute. There's Ace Cosby. Jeff Oskey sitting in over there for the Chickster. He's at the crazycockwine.com sports desk. That would be Josh, and there's Christy in the next room. So we're all.
How often do you drink coffee in the afternoon?
Rarely.
Yesterday.
You did?
You'll get like a 2 or 3 o'clock coffee?
I was so sleepy yesterday. I came back and I went to this friend of mine has this great restaurant. I went over there and I said, "Do you have any coffee?" And he goes, "I've got this cold brew, which I had never had, which sounds like booze, but it isn't. And this stuff, I think, is made of rocket fuel and cocaine."
Oh, nice.
I'm drinking some right now. You take like 3 sips of this, and you are lit.
Great.
Ready to go.
And you have half a cup of that?
You know, I need it today.
Oh,
I think I once saw Hunter S. Thompson turn that down.
You could put a match to this. It might light. It's just the caffeine.
But you don't have any trouble falling asleep at night after having caffeine?
No.
Okay.
As you know, I can fall asleep anytime, anywhere.
I know. Car running,
in 3
parking
minutes.
lots, yeah.
In my car with it running. Believe me, it's happened. Now, we have Jeff Oskey sitting in for Chick McGee. Comedian Jeff Oskey, and you got a little bit of sports news for us?
Sure. Let's see. New York has a kettlebell shortage. That's important.
That's what they're worried about.
Wait a second. Christy, would you please describe the kettlebell?
The kettlebell is a very heavy, depending on, there are different weight sizes, but it's a round ball type shape, but it has a handle on it.
Right.
So that you can hold it up and swing it around.
These became extremely trendy, 3 years ago?
Oh, probably more than that. CrossFit really brought those out.
You ever used one? You feel it.
Oh, yeah,
Boy.
you do.
It's...
Especially when you do squats with them and do the swing up and...
It's weight.
Well, yes.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to hold on to a kettlebell than to try to do that with a weight.
handle.
I sensed that you were poo-pooing them.
Yeah,
no, it's trendy. There's lots of...
I think they're effective.
So wait, I'm sorry.
Especially at home.
Are you going to be the guy that stands there going, the reason I'm out of shape is there's a kettlebell shortage? Really? You couldn't do push-ups?
I think technically the kettlebell's been around for quite a long time.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be one of the older.
It's one of the oldest throwbacks.
It's a throwback, but it's so trendy that...
Who were the lifters that wore the diagonal that used
the
to...
unitard?
Yeah. The old-time...
Old-timies?
Yeah, they lifted kettlebells.
Sure they did. Absolutely.
But there's apparently a shortage... Because I assume it's because gyms are closed?
Yeah, gyms are closed. You can't order fitness equipment, apparently, in New York. After gyms closed due to coronavirus, people scrambled to purchase the exercise equipment from online retailers. Now, everything is difficult to find, especially kettlebells. Why you can't just take a couple bricks and put them in your wife's purse and do the same thing?
Because the strap would break and knock you out.
And if you've ever lifted a woman's purse, a lot of times you don't need bricks. They get quite heavy, Christy. I don't know how.
So, by the way, you can look for kettlebells on Craigslist as soon as the gym's open.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. There's
Well, here's some good news. In Florida, a 5-year-old boy hit a hole-in-one.
What?
5?
Yeah. William Kelly landed a 68-yard shot on hole number 13 of the Bridges at Springtree Golf Club in Sunrise on Friday.
Nice. Man.
Kelly said, "I hit a 7-iron. It took 2 bounces off the fairway and 1 bounce off the green, and then it hit the flag and it went in."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here, kid.
Yes.
Good luck to you in life.
Well,
you may never do that again.
I have a friend whose 4-year-old son plays golf, and they've already sent video to colleges for people have already been. Yeah, I'm not joking. At 4.
Good luck, kid.
Yeah.
You're going to hate life.
No, it's great. Good for him.
Can you imagine him in the clubhouse afterwards? Round of Capri Suns for the boys.
He's got to buy a round.
Got to buy a round.
Although I will say this about a 5-year-old golfer: they can get away with wearing the ridiculous golf outfits that adult men wear.
You're right.
On the golf
Yeah,
course.
with those bright colors.
Yeah, also,
and patterns.
Well, speaking of that,
I was just going to say that Apparently, did they quote the kid?
He said his favorite golfer is Phil Mickelson and hopes to one day play around with him.
Cool.
That would be.
There's a certain luck factor to a hole-in-one. Let's
Absolutely.
All right, yes.
You're
That's what's exciting about it.
Well, I'd like to interview this kid's mom. He's 5 years old. I bet he hasn't hit the toilet most shots. I've had little boys. I have 3 sons.
No
and,
kidding.
What am I saying? I work in a building where no one can hit the toilet.
I say they're grown men.
It's unbelievable. It's like there's a pond in that bathroom half the time. Who's responsible
How
for that?
can you do that as an adult male?
And I never miss because I'm going in the sink. This is an outrage.
Exactly right.
Do you remember? I don't think it's as popular anymore. Growing up, we had carpet in our bathroom.
Sure.
Like, what a horrible idea with 3 boys to put carpet in a bathroom. That should be illegal.
Now, Christy will back me up in this. First house I ever owned. I thought it was so cool. It was, what do they call it when you can... the one floor walks onto the ground. What is it, like a
walkout basement?
That's it, a walkout basement. It's really cool. Built on a hill, had a nice deck. I was so pleased with it. And the coolest thing was the master bedroom had carpeting.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is so cool.
Most master bedrooms
do have carpeting.
I'm sorry, the master bathroom, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Master bathroom was carpeted, which I thought was the coolest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then, I'd lived there for 3 months. I swear to God, I wish I'd taken a picture of it. One day I noticed there was a mushroom growing out of the floor.
Seriously?
So we pulled the carpet. We had to replace one of the joists. It had rotted through the floor into the, it was
That was a big thing in the 80s, carpet in the bathroom. And it went up over, they had the big tubs in them, and it would go up the sides. And
then you had the carpet toilet kind of cover and the back cover. Then the,
you can still get those.
Oh, yeah, so they would never hold the lid up?
Yes.
So you'd have to, guys would sit there, stand there. So you'd be a left hand holding the lid up, right hand holding whatever head you hold there and hosing it down.
Guillotine your balls off.
Yeah, that house had some issues. Turned out it had aluminum wiring.
Oh.
If you want to look
Wait,
up.
is that a problem?
Did you not have an inspection?
If you want to look up aluminum wiring, you look under house fire.
Yeah, but if you have copper wiring, people steal it. So I stick with the aluminum.
I think aluminum wiring in most states is illegal.
Well, you pay the guy. You pay the inspector.
Yeah. A lot of issues with that place. I'm sorry, where were we? Coming up, we're going to talk with Donnie Baker. We've got Allie Breen on tap for today, and I've got an interesting article for Allie.
And what you do with aluminum wiring, Tom, you just wrap it in asbestos.
Oh, really?
That keeps it if it does short, then you
That's a cheap way to go.
Yeah, exactly. My house is awesome.
Speaking of awesome, I had a great shave this morning, of course. Why?
Why?
Well, because I'm using Harry's razors. Harry's, you know about Harry's. It's all about the steel, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's about more than the steel because everybody can get great steel. All the razors, I guess, use it, but Harry's has the best. But also, it's about half the price of those other razors, and the refill's about $2 each. And 10 million men have discovered Harry's. And here's the beauty of this. You can discover Harry's and try it out for $3. That's right. And we'll mail it to you. Use the code Bob and Tom at Harry's.com, and our friends at Harry's will take care of you. And how much is that shipping, Josh?
It's free.
So we're talking $3 for the razor, the weighted handle, the foaming shave gel, the travel cover, all for $3. We were talking about great pens this morning. How you got your favorite pen. It feels great. Same way about Harry's razors. The design of the handle is so perfect. It's so well balanced. You're going to try and go, this is great, because you are wielding a sharp object in your hand. And there's one razor out there where you stick a battery in it. Oh, here's a good idea. Now I can pretend I have a palsy when I shave. No, Harry's. It's all about the beauty and the great design. What you get is the razor, the weighted handle, the foaming shave gel, the travel cover for $3 plus free shipping when you use the code Bob and Tom at Harry's.com. It's an amazing offer from Harry's for Bob and Tom Show listeners. $5 off the trial set at Harry's.com. Just use the code Bob and Tom. That's Harry's.com, the code Bob and Tom, and you'll love it. I guarantee it. Now, check it out and tell them the Bob and Tom Show sent you. Coming up, we have Donnie Baker. We have a porn star running for office. We have, very excited about this. I don't know if you know this, Christy.
What?
Can I give you the audio teaser?
Okay.
Okay, now listen to this. Do you know what that is?
Music?
Thank you.
Very good.
That's,
You nailed it.
You know something? I'm there. You win the prize.
I have no idea.
That's the new Dalai Lama album.
Does he sing?
Eventually.
What?
I think they like to have a lot of intro. The Dalai Lama has an album. We'll find out about that. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Thanks for listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, don't forget, for the foreseeable future, every dollar spent at bobandtomstore.com goes straight to Feeding America. They're helping to fill America's food kitchens and pantries across the country. They know where the needs are, so they send the food there. And by buying anything at the Bob and Tom store, every single dollar goes straight to Feeding America. Buy now and buy often. Head on over to bobandtomstore.com today.
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union Entertainment News Desk. These days, police departments in the United States have come under scrutiny because of reports of brutality and racial profiling. So, the Paramount Network has decided it's now the end of the line for the TV show Cops. The network says the reality show is off the air and there are no plans to bring it back. Paramount put the show on hold last month as anti-police protests intensified over the death of George Floyd. Now, that decision is permanent. Are you ready to go back to the movies again? Well, ready or not, the nation's theaters are hoping you do return. The largest chain in this country, AMC, plans to reopen next month. But while it and other chains will be back in business, it won't be business as usual. There won't be many movies to see since Hollywood scrapped its summer lineup due to the coronavirus pandemic. And to maintain social distancing, theaters will be open to limit seatings to between 25 and 50% of capacity. And the Salzburg Festival will be one of classical music's few offerings in the summer of the coronavirus pandemic, staging a reduced 100th anniversary celebration with capacities limited to about 50%. Europe's top festival announced yesterday it will present 90 performances, down from 212. Venues will cut from 16 to 7, and intermissions eliminated to reduce audience interaction. Originally set to run from July 18th to August 30th, the festival will now start August 1st. Nearly every other major summer festival in Europe and the United States has been canceled. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Bob and Tom 24/7.
Don't you wish there was a pill you could take where you could instantly be able to play the guitar? Just like Eddie Van Halen, or B.B. King, or Segovia. And each of the various styles of these different guitar players will be represented by different kinds of pills. Like, for example, let's say if you wanted to play like Eddie Van Halen, there'd be these bright red gelatin capsules you could take. And the B.B. King pills would be dark blue, and they'd be called blues. For obvious colloquial reasons. And they would ideally be washed down with a pint of early times. And the Segovia pills would be these little tiny brown pills, but they'd be the most powerful pills of all, because he's really the best guitar player when you stop and think about it. I mean, that Spanish classical stuff's really hard to play when you're drunk. You could take one of these pills and be able to play just like the guy on the label, like for, let's say, like 3 hours. Like if you were at a party, or if you wanted to impress your girlfriend, or maybe if you wanted to impress your parents, let's say, if they were just kind of undecided about you. And you wouldn't have to suffer for your art, and you wouldn't have to pay dues, and you wouldn't have to worry about practicing all the damn time, and you wouldn't have to worry about getting screwed over by a bunch of club owners and managers, or having your gigs get downgraded to small comedy clubs. And you wouldn't have to worry about having your kids hate you and your wife leave you because you're practicing all the time, or worrying about getting arthritis or dying in a plane crash, or all the crap that goes along with getting that good. Just take one of these pills and be able to play great instantly. Wouldn't that be neat? Well, I actually happen to have one of those pills on me right now.
Cool. Really? Okay. Yeah. Want some water? Okay, go ahead, swallow it.
Wow.
Eddie. On acoustic, even.
Wouldn't that be great? People like that. Wouldn't that be neat?
719 Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Coming up Friday, we've got something very special, including some great weather, but we'll be doing something called heat relief, getting some water for those that need it this summer, bottled water for some folks that are having some issues. But we're trying to help. Hope you can be part of it. Right now, Christy has a quick forecast.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by CarX. Cloudy, windy, and thunderstorms in the forecast today. Look for a high of 85, but tomorrow, sunshine and 81. We're at 79 degrees now.
Thank you very much. Tell your smart speaker, Alexa, please play Q95. Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. It's great to be here. That's Josh Arnold, theorangeinsoles.com. Sidekick chair.
Hello.
This is Tom speaking. Pat Godwin's in the next building. We got him delivered here via camera. Jeff Oskey sitting in for Chick McGee.
That's right.
At the crazycockwine.com sports desk. With her brand new bangs, it's Christy Lee. Baby's got bangs.
Always
Isn't that how the song goes? Oh, maybe not. It's the Navy Federal Credit Union news desk. When that phone rings, it'll be the track phone hotline. Very excited about that. And, of course, Ace Cosby is our engineer and the proprietor of the Ace Cosby joke of the day. We have a special double edition today.
Oh, nice.
We got a kind of a birthday joke submitted by...
a 5-year-old, is that what you said?
He's turning 5 years old, and apparently doesn't meet Ace's standards.
Darn,
And
I
lost
my internet, so I can't pull it up.
I've also heard it's
that's
not radio friendly. It's filthy. It's just dirty as
that is a lie. Oh, there we go. Speaking of the track phone hotline, can you get that, Ace?
Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Thank you.
Hey, Bob and Tom, it's Donnie Baker.
Hey, Donnie.
Donnie, how are you?
Heard about Christy's new bangs. Now, you talking about her hair or the energy drink?
It's her hair. She looks very nice on it.
I like chicks drink bangs. It's what I call a head start. Swear to God. Hey, did you hear about, talking about girls? You know NASA? You guys talking? They're going to send a girl, a lady astronaut to the moon by 2024.
Yeah, they say the next moon launch there'll be a lady going up to the moon. That's cool.
Going to walk on the surface of the moon.
Lady astronauts. There's nothing hotter, really, than a chick with smart brain smarts and a killer body. Super hot. And you know, all that gravity's got to do a chick's body good, too. No weight pulling and dragging your boobs and butt down.
Oh, my God.
Well, think about it, Christy. You know, up at the moon, you ain't going to have, no woman's going to have stretch marks. It look like a half-deflated balloon that was left in a hot car too long. You know? And NASA's going to send them to the moon and not even the space station, which is probably a good idea.
Why?
Because you know how women are. Everything's going good on the all-man space station, and then, you know, chick shows up. All of a sudden, Ian and Zarek, best friends for life, are now battling each other, trying to get themselves some of that intergalactic hoobastank.
Oh,
swear to God.
There have been women on the space station, Donnie.
Well, I'll give it 2 days for the entire space station been overrun with unidentified sperm eggs floating throughout the cabin. Shortening out the Pioneer speakers and control panels, you know, making it tough to see, you know, real Milky Way.
They got a Pioneer up there? That's nice.
Of course, I probably know more about intergalactic sex than anybody I know of.
Why?
Because my Uncle Junebug got abducted and backdoor probed by aliens before.
Is that really?
Right. Now you got my attention.
First time I didn't believe him. And the second time I was real skeptical. The third time it happened, I had to wonder if he's maybe a little bit into it, or if word got around the Orin Belt that he was that easy. I swear to God, he'd disappear for weeks at a time, but wasn't know enough to get a silver alert. He'd always come back limping and knowing new dance steps.
Oh, how about that?
Never even been to Boonies, but he'd come back knowing half the electric slide. Anyways, you know these lady astronauts are probably easy pickings when they get back to Earth, too.
Why?
Because you can't rub one out in them spacesuits, Tom.
Oh.
You know? They come back here hot and ready like Little Caesars. And Donnie Baker's just the man they're looking for.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they are.
I swear to God, I'd like to loosen them up by throwing a couple of moonbeams in the blender, you know?
Moonbeams?
Yeah, moonbeams. There are 4 parts Jim Beam, 3 parts Tang, and 1 part ice.
Yummy.
Make sure the ice is froze so you don't get it watered down.
Well, okay, thank you for that.
Well, it makes a difference. You get about 3 moonbeams in her,
Then I hit her with some sexy talk. Like, hey, baby, I got enough fuel in my rocket to make it all the way to Uranus. Swear to God, it works. Whatever, Christy. You know you'd cash in on that one.
No, thanks.
I gotta go.
Make sure the ice is frozen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, good
it's
tip.
watered down.
Yeah, you don't water down.
Are they still drinking Tang on the space station?
I have no idea.
I love Tang growing. Did you have Tang growing up?
Oh, I love Tang
We
growing up.
rarely had it. I don't remember liking it very much.
That was the only thing I can remember from the Mercury program was that they were
Tang?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
The key to making good Tang was you had to put enough Tang in it that when you were done with the liquid, there was like a Tang sludge
at the bottom.
of
I
the
remember
glass
that, yeah.
you would tip up and kind of tap down, and it would work like a slow.
Like
The water had to be
Exactly, and
really
Metamucil
cold.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metamucil, the new Tang, the Tang of a new generation.
Tang for the Tangless.
If you grew up watching the Mercury, the original Wii 7 astronauts, you're probably on Metamucil, not Tang.
Yeah.
How about Tang flavored Metamucil?
Like
It
it
kind of is.
Well, it kind of is. Orange.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never
the-
had it.
yeah, that is the.
Yep.
That's, I wonder if they
Does
did
it
that.
bind you or clean you?
Cleans you.
Cleans you. It's Tang is.
It's like liquid
excuse me,
plumber for your
It's
body.
what is it? It's psyllium husk.
Yeah.
I wonder if they.
Metamucil, not Tang.
Right,
sorry.
right.
Yeah, I wonder if they did
I
do that
wonder-
on purpose.
I do too, because there's a whole generation that was imprinted.
With Tang.
And there was also Space Sticks, but Tang was
Space
the
Sticks,
one
yeah.
thing. And I don't know if Tang paid royalty to the NASA space program or what, but any kid of a certain generation associates Tang with that
I
original
think they
space
really
program.
did take Tang, didn't they?
I was always under the assumption they did because
Me
I
too.
assumed, it's a powder.
Right.
So that's easy to
Right.
travel or whatever, and then they can just add.
But not exactly the healthiest thing. Isn't it just sugar and fake orange flavor?
I can't believe it's got to be nothing.
Well, but sugar has its place, I think.
Well, but yeah.
Even in space.
Really? Who are you working for? The Haitian government? Are they trying to? they pushing sugar?
What are moon sticks?
No, space sticks.
Oh, space sticks.
Space sticks. They were like giant straws full of sugary powder, right?
No, they were like.
What were those called?
Those are called pixie sticks.
Okay, sorry.
Space sticks, they came in a pouch that looked like the food that the astronauts would eat in space. You know, they were in a pouch.
Yeah.
And they were like tightly rolled, horribly tasting. They were chocolate. I don't know how to describe. Like a Tootsie Roll, but not as thick. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Tootsie Rolls, I've always had a problem with Tootsie Rolls.
I don't care for them at all.
Hey, this looks like something that you found in the cat's litter box.
Tasted good, though.
Yeah, I don't like them. You're
I
a
like
fan,
them.
huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Space
chocolate.
sticks were not good.
Coming up, we'll feature our tribute to Tang, the original spacey breakfast drink. But right now,
Here we go. The Pillsbury Company brought them out in the late 1960s. Yikes. Oh, they were. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, what was his drink? The Moonbeam.
Yeah.
Jim Beam and Tang and frozen ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for the tip in on that one. I'm sure someone will be making one of those and enjoying it. But right now, we return to the crazycockwine.com sports desk. Jeff Oskey sitting in for Chick McGee today. Jeff, what's going on?
Michael Jordan and the crew of his fishing boat have